So guys, last 4 days for NEET 2025 exam, right? So I know you all must be feeling very depressed and anxious, demotivated. When you're looking at your mock test results, you're feeling like, okay, I won't be able to crack, right? And you're thinking that, okay, I'll just give up, I'll just relax because I won't be able to do that, right? Please don't do that because 4 days, right? We know that NTA, when it is asking the question in the NEET exam, some pattern it is following, right? Some of the topics that are important for your NEET exam that are repeated again. I'm not saying questions, I'm saying topics from which it is asking the questions again and again, right? So today I'm going to tell you about those topics. But you have to promise me that you will not waste these next 4 days in just realizing getting sad about everything that is happening, getting demotivated. You have to promise me that what are the topics that I'm going to tell you in this video, you will have a hold over all the topics that I'll tell you. These are the most important topics and you will not skip. You have to promise your Diksha ma'am regarding that. Promise me that. Right? Now, I'll start this video and I'll tell you important topics. You have to do each and every topic that I'm telling you in this video. Right? I'm telling you each and every chapter here, right? Starting with inorganic chemistry because it is easy to gain marks in inorganic chemistry, right? So starting with chemical bonding here, first is dipole moment, right? So from dipole, if you see these 4 topics, most important topics are hybridization, from which for sure they will ask you the question. Hybridization, shape and structure of the compound, geometry, shape, this they can ask you. This is one topic only, right? Okay. So once you know the hybridization, you'll be able to do shape, right? Then there is MOT, molecular orbital theory. From here, they ask you bond order, or they ask you bond strength, or they ask you bond length based on this, right? Then paramagnetic and diamagnetic character is also asked. So if you know MOT, you will be able to answer any of these questions here, right? Then there is dipole moment, from where very simple questions are asked related to the dipole moment. You will be lucky if they ask you questions from dipole moment, because if you know shapes and hybridization, then you know the structure of that compound. You can easily see whether it is having mu is equals to 0 or not. Directly you can see. So doing this and not doing this will be stupidity, right? So if you're doing this, do dipole moment as well, right? Then from coordination chemistry, one thing is VBT and CFT, right? Valence bond theory. In this, they will ask you the hybridization. Okay, they will ask you the hybridization. Then, ma'am, what about CFT? Right now, what we can see, usually in the last few years, they were not asking questions from CFT. But now what we can see from CFT, they are asking you to calculate CFSC or the trend of CFSC. That means you need to know the spectrochemical series. Just learn the spectrochemical series. Might be direct question can be asked from spectrochemical series. And calculation of CFSC means that you have D4 electrons, D4 orbital, and you have high spin or low spin. What is the CFSC? So you will fill the electrons, you will calculate the CFSC from that, right? All these things I have already done in my marathon. I'll just show you that where I have done all these things, right? Then there is magnetic moment here. Magnetic moment, directly the questions are asked based on paramagnetic and diamagnetic. Just like here, paramagnetic, diamagnetic, you can answer from MOT. Here you can answer it from VBT, whether it's paramagnetic or it's diamagnetic, right? Next is the color of the compound, that we can say is from DNF block. So basically here they ask you DD transition. So if you have D0 or D10, it will be colorless. If it has any other electrons in D, then it will be colored compound. So this is what they ask you, right? Then from here you have block chemistry. So I'm picking up here P block, DNF block, right? Periodic properties. What I have seen is students definitely have a good hold on this. But what they do is, even one of my students, they were asking me that he was asking that, ma'am, should I do P block completely now? I have never touched P block. In last 4 days, you're thinking about doing P block. You're thinking about doing S block, which is not even there in your syllabus. Because some teacher is telling you that S block you should do. What if they ask you out of the syllabus? Students, let's be clear on this. Chances of asking out of syllabus is very rare. 0.00000000001. Right? for that one question, if you're studying full S block, that's not utilization of time in these 4 days, right? So what you have to, S block, completely skip that. That is not in your syllabus. Be very syllabus oriented right now, right? And here, when I talk about P block, ma'am, should I do full P block? No, right? To be safe here, you can't skip full P block. If you're skipping P block, some questions which are very direct, you are actually losing marks on those questions, right? So these questions are exceptions. Ma'am, what kind of exceptions exactly? Listen to me here, right? I'll tell you exactly what you have to do. So exception 1 is based on oxidation states, right? First thing is, let us talk about the exceptions here. Exception is trends. Trends about ionization enthalpy, electron affinity, trends about radius. See in group number 13, the trends of ionization enthalpy and wait a minute, I'll just write the exceptional trends. In group number 13, you have ionization enthalpy and radius is very important. In group number 14, again, this is very important, ionization enthalpy and radius. Then in group number 15, 16 and 17, right, the hydrides are very important, right? The hydrides are very important. The thermal stability of hydrides, basicity, acidity, all of them of hydrides, the boiling point and melting point of hydrides, they are very important, right? Then you should also know the electronegativity, right? Electronegativity of group number 17, electron gain enthalpy, I would say. Electron gain enthalpy of group number 17 and group number 16. That is very important because that follows a weird order, right? Then you talk about electron gain enthalpy here. Rest is, I think that's it, right? And here also remember the bond dissociation energy in case of group number 17. So these are some of the important trends that I have written here. These are must do things, right? Okay. Next is oxidation state. Oxidation state, you should know that lower oxidation state is decreases, its stability decreases down the group. Based on that, they ask you question regarding oxidizing and reducing character. They will give you 2 elements and they will ask you which is oxidizing, which is reducing. That will depend on the lower oxidation state. Full detail, I have taken the lecture, I'll tell you, right? Then there is hydrides that I have already written, acidity and basicity. Now, acidity and basicity in case of, like they will ask you maybe acidity of oxides, acidity of oxoacids. For that, you can skip everything, but don't skip phospho-oxoacids. Phospho-oxoacids, don't skip. Sulfur oxoacid, you can skip, rare chances. But if you want to do that, you should do that as well. But if you're this, though, you must not skip because this is a repeated question, okay? Then there is what type of questions are asked. Order-based reaction questions or statement-based, like statement 1 and 2 is correct. These kind of questions they will ask you from here. Then one thing is, right now they are asking questions, see from DNF block, do 2 things here. One is KMNO4 and K2Cr2O7, very simple. The oxidizing and the preparation, you can go through that once, that what exactly happens in KMNO4 in acidic, basic, alkaline medium, what exactly happens. K2Cr2O7 is converted into which thing, right? Like it is converted to Cr3 positive and it is acting as an oxidizing agent. So these things you should know. Then lanthanoid electronic configuration. Here you should know that table where I have written like the electronic configuration of gadolinium, the electronic configuration of terbium, ytterbium, then cerium, then europium. So these are the electronic configurations that you must remember from lanthanoids. Okay. So this is what you have to do from block chemistry, right? Next one is thermodynamics. So talking about thermodynamics here, what you should remember here, that from thermodynamics, first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equals to U plus W, and the sign conventions also. See, don't get confused in the physics, thermodynamics and chemistry. These are different. If formula is different, sign conventions will be different, right? So the relation of delta U and delta H. Remember that delta U is equals to QU and this is equals to QP. That also you should remember. Then formulas of heat capacity. CPM, CBM, right? Heat capacity, degree of freedoms, these you should know, direct question. The definition, I would say the examples. From the examples, they ask you this question. Then the definition of state and path function also sometimes directly they ask questions from these are free numbers that you will get. If you have seen definition, hardly 1 minute it will take. Hardly 1 minute it will take for intensive, extensive properties, and you will get 4 marks out of it, right? Then heat capacity also, direct formula based question. Thermodynamics students usually skip, but very direct questions they ask from thermodynamics, right? Then there is work done. See, work done, all the formulas are important: adiabatic, reversible, irreversible. All the formulas are important. But if you're looking for, ma'am, which is the most important formula here, then isothermal, reversible, and irreversible is the most predictable question of work done, right? Okay. Last one, very, 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 very important equation, that is Gibbs-Helmont equation, from where spontaneity, non-spontaneity, these questions are asked, right? So if you're overall, if you still want me to know, want me to tell you that what, ma'am, I can skip from this also, then easy things, right? For those students who are looking for, ma'am, something easy, ma'am, which I can do, then do Gibbs-Helmont equation, do this equation, do first law, right? Then these three things you should know. Intensive, extensive properties you should do. You can skip these two things for those students who are looking for easy things, right? Okay, who can take risks, who don't want to take risks, do these two things as well, right? Next is equilibrium. From equilibrium, what you have to do, Kp-Kc relation, right? RT raised to by data energy, that relation directly formula can be question can be asked. Lee-Chartier principle, especially pressure and temperature variation in exothermic endothermic reaction, right? Then ionic equilibrium, one very important thing is Ksp and solubility, right? That is in presence of common ion effect also you should know. One is strict, one is in presence of common ion effect, right? Then there is pH in case of strong acid, strong bases, two strong acid, two strong bases, one strong acid and one directly pH. You don't want to do anything, just learn the value of pH. Of buffer solution, of salt hydrolysis, just learn the value of pH here. Just cram it, just mug it up, and direct question will be asked here, right? Then high chances, more chances. See, if you are asking, ma'am, this and this, which I can skip, do this, okay? This, if you don't want to take risk, right? I would advise both of them, but still, if you're like want me to choose one, then this one, which is very repeatedly asked. But this is also equally important, right? Then atomic structure, one question, either both of them, they can ask you either of the one question here. They can ask you from Bohr model. Usually they ask from radius and velocity, but you should know the formula of total energy, radius, velocity, the variations of time period and the variation of frequency, all of them. Then Rydberg equation also you should know, right? Rydberg equation means here you have wavelength, right? Here you have RH, right? Here you have N1, N2, and for that you should go for Lyman, Balmer, all these series as well. That what is that Lyman, what is that Balmer series, all of that also you should know, right? So next one is quantum numbers. So from quantum numbers, N, L, M and S, the formulas here of NLMS, right? All that you should do, right? Because sometimes they directly ask which of them is not under the category of quantum numbers. What is the number of electrons in this shell, number of electrons in this subshell? Direct question can be asked. And one more thing, that is radial nodes, the formula of radial nodes. It's also very simple formula, that is N minus L minus 1. You just need to know this formula, N and L value, you put it, you will get your answer, right? So that is also very important. Next is chemical kinetics. From chemical kinetics, one thing is half-life. The general formula of half-life, that is A naught raised to power 1 minus n, this general formula. The formula of first order reaction. So out of all the orders you should know, zero order and first order are most important. First order is most important, right? Then there is Arrhenius equation. I don't know, I am getting a feeling that they will ask you question from Arrhenius equation. Last time also they have asked you question from Arrhenius equation graph, right? Very important, numerical as well as graph. Both the questions are very important. Then from solutions, right? You can pick out, see, colligative properties must do. All the 4 colligative properties, the formulas, the formula of I and alpha and the value of N for dissociation and association, that also you should know, right? Then if you want to do, ma'am, only colligative property, one more thing is very important, that is ideal and non-ideal solution. ideal, non-ideal solutions. It will hardly take you 5 minutes to go through the examples of positive, negative deviation, right? Positive deviation means you have pressure, positive deviation means pressure increases. So it will be minimum boiling oil azeotrope, right? Negative will be maximum boiling azeotrope. That also I have told you here. Reason being, usually students do positive negative deviation, but they skip minimum and boiling minimum and maximum boiling azeotrope, right? That you skip. Then there is simple formula of Raoult's law, right? This is priority wise I have written. First focus is colligative. Then if you have time and patience, do ideal, non-ideal. Then the last one is the formula of Raoult's law. Last you can do is Henry's law if you still have the patience to do, right? That totally depends upon how much risk you want to take. I would advise you at least do these three things, right? Then there is electrochemistry. From electrochemistry, it's a very big chapter, right? So one thing to do is Nernst equation. This is very, very important. Those students who are thinking of skipping this chapter, do Nernst equation, this formula, this formula, these three formulas are important. Then conservation of delta G. That means the formula is, if you have the variation N3E3 is equals to Ne2, N2E2, N1E1. That is very important, right? Once you have done this, right, I believe that you can also easily do this G into G star is equals to kappa, and this formula, right, if kappa is in centimeter, right? Okay, these are some of the formulas, and this formula is also, I'm writing only the important formulas, right? Because this you can understand from Corlosh law, right? So this also you should know, Corlosh law. This will be solved from this formula. Kappa is conductivity, and this formula is also. So these are the formulas of conductance, resistivity, conductivity. These are the three important formulas. If they ask you dissociation constant, that is C alpha squared, that we know from ionic equilibrium, right? So this is the most important. This is the next priority, which is also very important. Faraday laws is also very important, right? I would advise you to go through Faraday first and second law, at least the formula, but the asking, if they ask you, that has less probability, but it's not like they don't ask. They ask Faraday's law as well, right? Okay, but these are some of the very, very important formulas. Then biomolecules do glycosidic linkages, amino acids, and DNA. In DNA, what are the formations? And I would advise you, biomolecules, don't look for important topics, go through it in detail, because that is also there in bio. So if you have the same chapter, same thing, it's not like in physics and chemistry you have thermodynamics, sign conventions are different. Everything is same here. In biomolecules, what you have in chemistry, you have the same thing in bio. There are some minor differences that you will see. In fact, in bio, you have this in much detail. So I would advise you to go through biomolecules in detail. You should have full confidence on this chapter, right? Then there is general organic chemistry. We have done physical chemistry. We have done inorganic chemistry. Then GOC, what you have to see. From organic chemistry, first part is GOC. If you are skipping GOC, you are doing a mistake, right? So what you have to do here, first is Barhi. Barhi means back bonding, aromaticity, resonance, hyperconjugation, inductive. These all you should know. See, if you are starting GOC, you should do all of these. Either do nothing from here. Because if you're not doing GOC, then everything else is interrelated here, right? See, if your Barhi is clear, then you will be able to solve answers of stability of intermediate, acidic and basic strength. If this is not clear, then you won't be able to solve answer for stability of intermediate. So these two are interrelated, right? Next is GI is a different topic. So you have to know whether GI exists or not. Very simple it is. This is double bond. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This is 3. This is 4. If these two are equal, then that means 1 should not be equals to 2. 3 should not be equals to 4. That is real. Was it difficult? No. So that is must do for all the students who are totally blank and they want to have some important questions right now. So this is that important question that is not at all time consuming, right? Then number of stereoisomers, right? Number of geometrical, number of stereo, all of this has formula 2 raised to power n, right? That you should know for asymmetrical. If you're skipping for symmetrical, skip that, right? Because very rare chances they will ask you from symmetrical. High chances are they will ask you from asymmetrical, right? Next is EZ. This I would advise you. These two are important and easy ones. This is slightly difficult. So if you want to do that, be prepared that this is difficult. So you have to, if you're learning this for the first time, E and Z, then skip it. Okay. If you have done this already, then you can go for it. If you're learning it for the first time, then you can skip E and Z. You won't be able to solve the question in the exam because panic mode will be there. So you will in fact solve the wrong answer then. So I would advise you, either you skip this if you're doing this for the first time, or do it properly, right? Then DNA, you can do this even if you're doing this for the first time, right? Okay. Meta, ortho, para directing, if you know Barhi resonance, you will be able to do this as well, right? Then next one is the rearrangement of carbocation. This also is important if you actually are looking for risk-free answers. If you want to gain full marks in organic chemistry, do rearrangement, do tautomerism. Do tautomerism. These are the important topics to be done, right? Okay. Next is from the naming reactions. You should know that all these naming reactions that I'm writing here, first is aldol, condensation, Cannizzaro, Itards, Riemer-Tiemer, Coles, HVZ, Woods fatigue, Friedel-Crafts, then Clemenson, Wolff-Kishner, Gabriel phthalimide, Finkelstein, Schwartz, Dawes, cumene process, Ball-Schiemann, carbylamine reaction, Rosenmund, Gattermann, Sandmeyer's Gattermann reaction. This is Gattermann-Koch reaction, Hoffman-Williamson synthesis. All these are the important naming reactions that you must do. Then there are important reagents and distinguished tests. Hinsberg, Lucas, then you have Tollens, Spelling, azodide, nitrous, Bayer's reagent, ozonolysis, very important, right? Then Grignard reagent, both with proton source and with carbonyl carbon, right? Electrophilic substitution, Friedel-Crafts, alkylation, acylation, chlorination, nitration, right? All these, sulfonation, all these electrophilic substitution. And if you know GOC, you will be able to understand which is orthopara, which is meta-directing, right? So diazodization directly. Then you have KOH. Now these are the important reagents, right? Naming reactions all of you do, but these are the reagents that usually students skip. KOH in aqueous and alcoholic both are different, right? Mild and strong oxidizing agents. Next is reducing, how LiAlH4 and NaBH4 are different from each other, right? Then there is reaction of ether with HI. Williamson synthesis is preparation of ether. Then how to react ether with HI, that is also very, very important reaction, right? Hemiacetal, acetyl, ketyl, carbonyl compounds with NH2Z. Okay, so how NH2? Semicarbazone, Schiff's base, oxime, how these things are formed here. Dehydrating agents like you have H3PO4, H2SO4, P2O3, these are the dehydrating agents. Bromination and nitration, aniline, then you have acetylation. So why I am saying you bromination and nitration of aniline? Because this forms a meta product. That is why this becomes very, very important reaction for you. Don't skip these important reactions from your organic chemistry. Here I have summed up all the 5 chapters of reaction-based chapters of organic chemistry for you, right? Now students, for further, like you want to see, I would advise you in these 4 days at least give just one. Okay, I'm not asking you to give 2, 3, 4. No, right? I'm just asking you to give just one test, and that test, we are providing you the test for totally free of cost. But that test, what you have to do, you have to see your time management. Just see time management. Just see the time management. Follow the strategy that you are going to. This is not going to be a judgmental mock test for you. This you will sit for hours, like you will prepare yourself like you are in the NEET exam, right? No AC, nothing. You are sitting in the fan. Yes, you are sweating, but still you are giving the exam, right? Yes, somebody horn and this and that is going on. You're not going to tell anybody to keep quiet because you can't tell the examiner to keep quiet, right? So you will give this test like how to manage, how to face the distractions in the exam, how you will manage the time in the exam, how you will prepare for the strategy. What is your strategy? Whether you're going to do bio first, physics first, chemistry first, how you are going to fill your OMR sheet, right? All these things you are going to focus in this test series. Just one test series you give, right? Pick out any random test from this test series that is provided to you. Link is in the description. Then we have study buddy for you. You have any problem, then this, you just click on this QR scanner. You will get 24/7 smart study assistant and instant access to daily study material you will get here. And students, for NEET PDF, that is also provided to you totally free of cost. Most important NEET previous year questions and NEET question paper from 2022 to 2024, that should be on your tips right now, because sometimes just by slightly molding the questions, they ask you in the exam, direct questions are asked by slightly twisting the questions a little bit, right? So all these links, students, are in the description box here. You can see it here, right? All these links are over here in the description box, right? This is NEET PDR, NEET Champion Test Series, right? All these NEET Revisathon PDF, right? So here you will get NEET Revisathon PDF, right? That we have already done, right? Okay, so that's it for today. Let me know in the chat box if this was helpful for you or not. Till then, bye-bye, take care. I want to know in the comment section hashtag, and I see you guys don't put the hashtags, huh? What is the reason? You guys are not feeling motivated, right? So hashtag, you promised me that you will do this, right? Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. And this challenge is for 4 days. So I'll rather write hashtag 4 days challenge accepted. 4 days challenge accepted. So I have given you everything that you need to do for chemistry. So accept this challenge, and after completing, just write it down in the chat box. Right now you have to write hashtag 4 days challenge accepted, and all the other students who are watching this video will like at least 5 to 7 comments here, so that 5 to 7 students can be awakened that they have promised me to complete this challenge. And once you complete this, maybe it's on 2nd of May, maybe it's on 3rd of May you are completing this challenge, just write down completed, challenge completed. Okay, that is your promise to me that you will do that. Till then, bye-bye, take care, and all the best for your preparation. These 4 days, we will make it worth it. We are not going to waste these 4 days, right? We will make it valuable for our NEET 2025 exam. You have to make it valuable for your own dream that you once saw 2 years back, right? Okay, so that's your promise to me. Till then, bye-bye, take care. See you all in the mock test that we are taking for you. Bye-bye.